limiting beliefs around money leads us to self-sabotaging behaviors. In this video, I want to share with you the top limiting beliefs that affect how we show up in our finances and really limits us from achieving our full money potential, and how we can transform these beliefs into enabling ones. My name is Yvonne, and the goal in this channel is personal growth. So if you want to improve the quality of your life, click the subscribe button below to level up. So how do we get beyond our limiting beliefs? Well, neuroscience is really helping us better understand how the brain functions and how it can support us in creating better behaviors. We really need to consciously create new neural pathways that really produce wealth-building behaviors, and we do this by first identifying the limiting beliefs that are holding us back, and second, by reprogramming our subconscious mind with beliefs that support us. So we're essentially replacing these limiting beliefs with enabling ones. So for example, let's say you have a limiting belief that there's never enough money, okay? How did that limiting belief begin? Well, likely it started when you were little and you always heard your parents maybe saying, oh, we don't have enough money, and you ask for something, oh, there's not enough. And so when that happens, you adapt to that limiting belief. And because 95% of our behaviors are run by these subconscious program beliefs, you're going to unconsciously engage in behaviors that create exactly that never enough money. And it reinforces that belief. So whether it is you're staying at a job that doesn't pay you enough, or you spend most of your money when you do receive it, ultimately it's going to set you back to reaffirming that limiting belief. And so we will self-sabotage in many, many ways to stay true to that belief that we hold to be true. So, one example that helped me really understand how the brain works here and why it's so difficult to change a behavior that's running in the background is really imagine that you're driving to work, right? And you drive to work every single day to the same place for the last 20 years, let's say, and you've had this job in the same exact place. So it's a path that you drive without having to really think about it. And let's say it's a weekday and you have the day off, okay? And you need to go to another place, maybe a dentist appointment or doctor's appointment or something. Well, what happens when you're not consciously paying attention, you're not aware? Well, guess what? You're gonna get in your car and you're gonna begin to drive to work because, see, those grooves are there, that road that you always travel at that certain time of the day, that's pretty set. And so that's the same thing. So see, what happens to your brain when you have a belief that was conditioned through repetition is that it creates very strong neural pathways, like deep grooves on a road that has been traveled often. And so to change that, really, you need to intentionally and repeatedly change those dominant neural pathways to recondition your beliefs into newer, more supportive ones. So, there's two ways that you were programmed up to this point, okay? The first was when you were young, okay, up to the first 7 years of your life. Your mind is operating in what's called a low vibrational frequency, theta brain waves. And theta actually is the state of hypnosis. That's why your brain, when you're little like that, before the age of 7, is like a sponge. You're taking in so much information. So that is one way that your beliefs and behaviors were programmed. After you are 7 years old, okay, you form habits by repeating something over and over and over again, right? Practicing, repeating, practicing. It's kind of like the way you learn how to drive a car. And that's how we program our subconscious mind now, okay? Either that or methods that are a lot more complex, which includes Yes, hypnosis and getting into the theta brainwave state to duplicate that state of mind as you were young. So that's why if you've heard people say that it's good to repeat affirmations either in the morning when we wake up or right before we go to bed, and the reason why they say that is because sure enough, that's when our adult brains are in the theta brainwave state that will enable that ability to get into the subconscious mind a lot easier. But generally, yeah, it's really through repetition and really beginning to make that new habit something normal for us, to normalize it. So the main reason why money has become the source of stress, anxiety, and pain for most women really is from the limiting beliefs that affect your perception of money. See, because you have these ingrained beliefs, they really show up as financial self-sabotaging behaviors. Okay, that's how they manifest. In fact, that's how you know you have limiting beliefs. If you have a behavior that you don't like and you wonder, why do I have this behavior? Why am I acting this way? And I don't want to be like this. And you struggle with it. Well, that's because there's an underlying limiting belief. And our job is to uproot those limiting beliefs, right? It's like a weed that has deep roots. And so what we want to do is we want to take it from the roots. And instead of trying to use our will to stop the behavior, that's pretty much like going over it with a lawnmower. Pretty soon, it's going to come back. Those behaviors are going to come back because we haven't gotten them in the roots. So some financial self-sabotaging behaviors include spending your money instead of saving money, letting someone else make your financial decisions, a victim mindset, and avoiding money because it's too confusing. So let's talk about the first one, okay? Spending your money instead of saving it. Let's face it, aside from the basic necessities in life, we really do enjoy having the nice shoes, nice handbags, and nice clothing, and not to mention pampering ourselves with our self-care activities like massages, getting our nails and hair done, and going to the spa, going on luxury vacations. And we really deserve that because we work hard. But let's be honest here, when we spend our money instead of saving it, it can really lead us to working hard for years and really not having anything to show for it. You know, there's a quote that says that wealthy people invest first and spend what's left, and broke people spend first and invest what's left. So we definitely don't want to be the latter. So putting money in assets like stocks, bonds, and real estate that grows faster than inflation is what's going to create wealth for us. You see, investing is not about what you have to do, but who you have to become. Really think about it. Really think about who you need to become to create, grow, and sustain wealth and have the resources to do what you're here to do. Okay, and it is going to take a little bit of self-discipline and really getting back to the point that I mentioned is identifying what limiting beliefs we have underneath the surface there and really get to the root of things so that our behaviors are going to enable and support us instead of sabotaging all of our hard work. The second one here is letting someone else making your financial decisions. That's a self-sabotaging behavior there. You see, many women leave the financial management to others because they find it to be too complicated to handle on their own. And they either rely on the men in their life, like their fathers and husbands, to manage it for them, or they'll leave it to the financial advisors because, you know, they assume that someone else will understand and manage their money better than they can. Well, you know, here's a quote by Dave Ramsey, and he says, "You must gain control over your money, or the lack of it will forever control you." Absolutely. You know, unfortunately, personal finance is not something we learn in school. No, it's something we need to invest on our own financial education. And it's important to educate yourself on finances because guess what? No one can manage your money better than you can. And you need to understand how money works because your life is at stake. Based on a recent study by the nonprofit National Institute on Retirement Security, they found that with lower lifetime earnings, less in savings, and lower Social Security benefits, retired women are 80% more likely to live in poverty than men. You see, your life is on the line. So it's in your best interest to gain financial literacy. Now, the third is a victim mindset. Okay, a victim mindset. That's really a self-sabotaging behavior. But let's step back. Okay, let's keep it real here. The reality is that there is a wealth gap. Okay, and women do make and keep less than men. There's a lot of discussion about what women earn, okay, compared to men, but people don't really talk about women having significantly less wealth than men. See, there's a difference. Wealth is different than income, okay? Income is what you make and wealth is what you keep, okay? Wealth, for instance, includes savings for emergency, savings for college, or a secure retirement. That's what we're talking about here as well. So in fact, according to a 2018 JP Morgan Chase study, while women earn an average of 79 cents for every dollar earned by men, they only own a stunning 32 cents for every dollar of wealth owned by their male counterparts. So this gender wealth gap is especially acute for Black and Hispanic women who own pennies on the dollar compared to white women. Okay, so that's the reality we live in. But even so, if we keep blaming others for our challenges, guess what? That means we remain as victims. A victim mindset is a mindset that blames others for their situation. So good, bad, indifferent. Okay, good, bad, indifferent. That's what a victim mindset is. So let's really think about this. What are we doing here? If we continue, okay, as women, to perpetuate this victim mindset, it will not empower us individually to do what it takes to overcome these challenges. Because we're going to say, you know what, I'm a victim. It's because of the, boys club that goes on in the corporate world, and that's why I make less. Okay, and I've seen it. Okay, I've seen it. I live in corporate America. I'm in corporate America right now, and it happens a lot. And so I've been, I have experience in that. Let's just put it that way. But I will say, if I lived with the victim mindset, do you think that's going to encourage me to make changes in the way I show up? Okay. You get what you focus on. So instead of focusing on who is doing this to you, okay, that victim mindset, it's really time to focus on how to be compensated more. So for example, to be paid more, you need to focus on your own education and do the inner work to believe you deserve and are worthy of making more. Also, you need to have the self-esteem to value your own work. Get the negotiation skills you need so that you can negotiate a higher salary. Because oftentimes women leave money on the table because they don't negotiate like their male counterparts do. Okay. Also, too, the confidence. Okay, to develop the confidence that we need to walk away from a job that doesn't value you. And that takes courage. It does. And I say that because I've had to do it myself. When I asked for a raise, when I gathered the courage and I prepared so well to ask for a raise, and I prayed about it and everything, I thought I was going to get it, and I didn't. Guess what? I had to have the confidence and get uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable when you're comfortable to get uncomfortable. And I had to go find another job. Okay? And get uncomfortable that way. And guess what? That other job I got accepted for it, and I got exactly the 10% raise that I wanted through the other job. Isn't that how life works, right? When a door closes, God opens a window for us. And so that's what I'm talking about here. Having the confidence to walk away from something that doesn't value you, and also the courage to get uncomfortable and go find something that does. And faith in yourself and your higher power that you are going to find something better, that you're better than than this, okay? So also too, guess what? If there's a glass ceiling where you're trying to climb up someone else's ladder, maybe it's time to create your own ladder and develop the mindset to have your own business where you set the rules, okay? So no need to climb up someone else's corporate ladder. Go create your own, okay? These is now our juices are flowing, right? Our mind is going, we're more positive, we're getting creative, and we're thinking outside of the box. That's what I'm talking about here. Because once we get into the victim mindset, you're really closed, you're closed-minded, and it doesn't lend itself for the motivation, the inspiration, and the action it really is going to take to get yourself out of this situation. And we've got to do this individually, so that collectively we can all get out of this, okay? So it's our responsibility to do this for us. Okay, so, and I will say this too, the income gap is due in part to a career that may be delayed or interrupted by caregiving, either because of motherhood, okay, a leave of absence due to childbirth. I just had a set of twins just recently, a year and a half ago, and I know about that life, okay? Getting a leave of absence took me out of work. Okay, and I did suffer through and they don't talk about this, but the emotional and psychological feeling of not feeling good enough when you're getting back, and just really tripping up a little bit to kind of get your grounds back to work. And so that gap really affects us. Okay, myself, where I had that gap for taking care of the kids and having the kids, compared to a male counterpart that was able to work through and doesn't have to really think about that, because culturally, we're not really there yet, okay, in terms of leave of absence for leave. I know that some fathers are doing that, but that's still not the norm here. So it really takes some conversations as we plan to have children. How are we going to make sure that that we're able to have more support? So also too, taking time out for work to help care for a elderly parent, which is culturally a lot of the caregiving for a woman. A lot of the caregiving that we have for our elderly parents is on the burden of women still. And so these are things we need to start having conversations and talk about within our families and our communities, so that we can get more support from our families. Now, I will say that the emotional sense of nurturing is just there. So there are some biological realities that we need to live with. Would I go back and exchange the time I had with my children? Even if my husband did get a leave of absence and took the time off, I'd still want to be with my kids and just be okay with that. But what does that mean? That means that I have to think of more creative ways to make more money to account for that, and save, so that when I have that leave of absence, I have some savings to support that. So there's a lot of things we've got to think about that's very unique and special for us as women financially, okay? And so the fourth is avoiding money because it's too confusing, okay? So, financial educators, they take a strictly intellectual approach when they talk about personal finance. And a lot of times they completely ignore the emotional and the softer side of investing. But that's what speaks to and resonates with women, because of the simple fact that, guess what? We are more in tune with our emotions. There, I said it. So the paradox is that, based on the book, The Psychology of Money, It finally revealed that most investors, both men and women, act on emotions, not rational thinking, when making financial decisions. So investing is an emotional game. But the emotional side, that softer side of money, for some reason, the part that drives human behavior, is brushed aside in favor of hard numbers when it comes to the financial education that's out there. So the education around money really falls short. And we can turn this around with really seeking programs and asking for programs and expecting and demanding programs that help us marry the intellectual hard numbers with the softer, more emotional psychology of money. Okay, that's where the real magic happens. So I do have an announcement to make. If you're ready to invest in your financial education, enroll in my signature Money Mastery program. I've curated and tailor-made this program especially for women who are ready to upgrade their mindset for wealth. This is an exclusive offer for high-achieving women that are committed to their transformation to really get out of debt, save more, increase their income, and invest to build generational wealth. Now, this exceptional and unique experience will support you in having that peace of mind that comes from having an action plan for financial freedom. So if you're ready to live a life of financial success and prosperity on your terms, click on the link below in the description box to go ahead and enroll, and I'll see you on the other side. Always, it's great to have inspirational and motivational reminders to keep you moving forward toward your dreams and goals. So click on the link in the description box below as well to choose your favorite custom design gift for yourself, family, and friends in my online merch store. So click on the link in the description box below for that. And if you enjoyed this video, click on the like button and subscribe to improve the quality of your life. And I'll see you on the next one. Oceans of love. Till next time.